What are the attributes that are essential for you? We'll start off with in a partner, and then we'll go on to that you feel you need to have to be a great partner.
For me, honesty is paramount. Uh, Transparency, accountability, kindness, a willingness to be on your journey. I know everybody's in different spaces, but at the very least, be working on yourself. Um, in general, being open minded and not so judgy. Like there's a bit too much of that, and truthfully, no one on this planet has any room to judge. Um, Physical attributes are something different, but I mean, for me personally, please have read a book. Please have some knowledge of the '90s because I'm obsessed, and that's my time period, just for me. And be a thrill seeker, man. I love to have fun. I'm 36, but I'm very much so a child at heart. So that's definitely something important to me. And a sense of humor. Please be able to laugh. Laugh cures so much, for sure.
Yeah, 100%. Emmanuel, what you thinking? What qualities are important for you in a life partner?
Somebody that's understanding, right? Patient, patient, kind. Definitely has to have, like Adriana said, a sense of humor. And I don't know if it's much more than that. Like someone that's patient, kind, sense of humor. It's the thing that I'm thinking about. I don't know if nurturing is the word. Something in that vein, right? But I'm not looking for a mother in that way, if you understand what I'm saying. But yeah, maybe I'll have to circle back to that one. And then on the other side for myself, what I'm bringing is that understanding that patience as well and authenticity overall, for sure. Like, and I think that goes hand in hand with honesty because when you're being your authentic self, there's nothing that you have to feel that you have to hold back or lie about.
Yeah, it's deep when you kind of realize in your own self and from observing others what being inauthentic can create, the kind of internal turmoil, how freeing it is to really just 100% be yourself. And I think this society can make people just be inauthentic because there's so much kind of forced upon us in terms of image and stuff. But yeah, thank you, Emmanuel. Adriana, on that note, then, I do like the way actually it's nice to hear both sides. So, what would you like to bring to the table?
Uh, the exact same. I mean, for me, like interestingly enough, the reason why I chose to do the piece I did from when I was 25 is because of the mentality that I was at. I was very much so people pleasing and wanting to be like a chameleon and fit into a certain box of what I thought love was or to like someone was. So again, to be my authentic, honest self, to give you 100% from the beginning. I think that's something else that is lost in a lot of situations. Obviously, I don't need to give you my life story on first date, but uh, get to know me as me from jump. I think a lot of people tend to keep themselves behind a curtain. So that is most important. Honesty, accountability, the willingness to be yourself, be fun off top, and share your quirks, truthfully. So that's what I would do. Um, I think it makes things easier too. Like if you know what you're getting into from the jump, if it's not for you or if something doesn't mesh well with you, isn't it easier to know that by say date number three as opposed to you're 6 months into a relationship and you're like, who are you? You know what I mean? It's a lot of people that go through that.
Oh
And I'm
yeah.
just not trying to be one of them. I've been that, and that ship has sailed. I'm a lot like you, Caroline, in that way that I'm at a stage in my life where I know exactly what it is that I want. And if it's not that, I'm cool.
Isn't that a nice feeling though? Isn't that a great feeling?
It's very freeing for sure.
I want to ask a question to that though. I know that me and Gabe haven't answered, but just because I don't want to lose that question, so you wouldn't. So, cause if you have an idea of exactly what you want, and if it's not that, then you're good. There's no bending. There's no gray area. There's no nothing. Cause
Oh,
some
no,
like you
there-
have your idea of exactly this picture perfect person, and the universe has something different in mind, but that thing that's not what you expected might bring you so much more than what you initially wanted to begin with, or it might change your perspective on something. So like how rigid are you in what you really what you want?
great
But
question.
but you
I'm
we,
not.
we I just wanted to ask that question to hold on to it because I just wanted to get it out. 'Cause I don't want to interrupt the flow, but I just wanted you guys to hear the question so that you guys can answer.
I'll answer that question. It's a banging question. I want to hear, and I'll answer it as well. And whoever else wants to answer it.
Yeah,
Yeah, because I got to answer like you. It's a great point based on the way I said what I said.
yeah, because that's what
I'm
made me
not.
ask. Wait a minute.
I'm not rigid in that way at all. Like my personality is very much so open-minded and open to new things. I meant more so for myself. Like if I present to you that I'm into this sort of spirituality, but I'm not really into religion, and you know what I'm saying, think about devil worshiper type thing. You know what I'm saying? That sort of thing. Like I'm cool. Like I'm not. It's not for me to impress upon you all of the
I get you.
research and all of the, you know what I mean, all of those sort of things. Or on the opposite side of the spectrum, if you don't understand why I like going on hikes and like sitting outside and just meditating and breathing, and you think it's weird, like that sort of thing,
No,
I'm
100%.
cool.
Yeah. Yep.
But if you are, say, if you like anime and I'm just not really into that, I mean, school me on it. You know what I mean? Like at least at the very least, I can appreciate you for who you are. I'm not rigid in that way. But
Mhm.
if there's just something that you are basically going to judge me for because I'm being my authentic self,
No, but
that's what I'm cool on.
I mean, like in a sense, like okay, but I get that point, but like in a sense, like you want somebody who I want somebody who is motivated, who knows what they want, who is kind and who's empathetic and who blah blah blah, right? And then well, you somebody who's good looking. I want them to be like at least a 7, 8 out of 10, blah, 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 right? Works out. But there's somebody who comes along or whatever and say they got a little acne. And you know what I'm saying? And like you could tell they work out, but they probably don't eat all of that good. So you could tell that they need help like in motivation to eat right. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like certain things like that. Like you could tell like they have potential to be motivated, but they probably have like that type of thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's what I mean. Like not so much on a superficial, on a flat, do you get what I'm saying? Am I
I
actually
get I get what
On a
you're
grow, are
saying.
you willing to grow with a person? I think is
all
the
right,
question.
cool. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Like
All right.
yes, absolutely. If you're literally trying and you're 100% transparent, I think that's fair if that's something that interests you. There are certain people that aren't going to be willing to do that. Like I'm not going to be a mother to you straight up, but I'm a very nurturing person in general, and I have a soft spot for fixer uppers because I am one. So you know
Mm.
what I'm saying? Like I wasn't always here. I had to get here. I had help getting here. I had people who constantly helped me course correct. So absolutely, like if you like say you got your workout routine down pat, but you're eating processed food, I'm going to show you the label and show you why it's crap. You know what I mean? I'm that person. But again, that's something that the other person needs to be open to. So if they're open to that and willing to grow and willing to teach me something, like shoot, I'm a student of life. So as much as I'm willing to teach, I'm willing to be taught. I think that's important too. Absolutely. Like,
Yeah.
no,
All
I'm very much like water when it comes to that. It's other people that are very rigid and very stuck in their ways, and it's toxic to me.
You
in
know,
my
that's
opinion.
that's a great point that you brought up, Tone. And Adriana, I don't know if people are as rigid. I am reading this book again by Malcolm Gladwell called Blink. And he's in the book, there's a part where they talk about speed dating, right? And people going into the dates talking about they have a certain type. And you would think that people would choose their type, right? But then they get on these dates and people are not, but there's a connection there. So oftentimes we have in our mind what we think is gonna be the type of person that we want to be. Like me, for instance, if she's natural, if we're talking about eating raw plant-based diet, but somebody could be the polar opposite, right? And we have a connection. More times that's gonna lead to somewhere. So I was just bringing that up because it's something that stood out to me. And a lot of times we think in our minds we have a type, but then we don't always choose that type when there's an authentic connection with a significant other that we're choosing.
I would say it's better to not have a type, to be open minded, as long as you have certain standards for yourself and for who what attributes maybe a partnership you would hope would have, but otherwise be open minded to who the person is.
True
Yeah,
indeed.
I agree with definitely what she said, being open minded, because it's like, I mean, you can set some standards or like or like what you think you want, but it's never going to turn out that way. It's always the unexpected that draws closest to you, whether it's friends, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a job. Like it's always when you set an expectation, you're gonna be obviously require yourself to meet that expectation, and then if you don't meet it, then it's like you failed or you did something wrong. But if you leave it open, then it's like, okay, now I got options. Now let's just flow with it. Let's connection. Where's the strongest connection at? Where can I build at? And it's also like if you know yourself and you build that stronger connection, now you start to see within yourself what do you need work on, or like just in those little crevices, or like what can I provide to them? What can they provide to me? Or like if it is a really connection or not. I like that.
Yeah, I think my take on it is it's kind of like the love languages thing. And if your love languages don't match, it's about the qualities and the compatibility. And I think that personally for myself, I know I'm gonna know. I know the Most High will show me. It's not gonna be a question, but it's like my love language. I think Adriana, you said something similar, but my love language is to nurture. So if I'm with somebody that doesn't want that, we're gonna have a problem. Do you know what I mean? Because I want to cook food for you, and then they go, "Oh, you're the best woman in." I want that. I don't want to give you a plate of food and it don't mean anything. Do you know what I mean? Because I've put my love into that food. So you need to, whoever I'm with needs to like that. They need to like being nurtured, and if they repel that, it's not going to work. So it's the qualities and the love language, and I think it's thinking about. Bottom line for me is how I know I'll be able to tell as well. I say it a lot in my poetry, but is that feeling of time flying, and I think that
Mm.
happens with connections. Full stop. Because that happens with us. That happens like if me and you, Cynthonia, are on a call, we can talk for hours, and it's like 4 hours later, it's like, whoa, what's happening? So for me,
Mm.
compatibility in a relationship, if I can sit with them and 5 hours feels like 5 minutes, that's a sure fire sign.
Excellent point.
All right. So, Gabriel, what attributes, qualities in a partner for you that you require and that you feel you need to give?
That I require, I would say for me, it's really a communicator. I like people who talk, just like uh whether it's intellectually, whether it's about issues, problems, whether it's about just a random topic and you just want to sit and chat. That's me. I'm a question asker, so I like to get down to the nitty gritty and just ask questions, random questions like, what would you do if you was in space? What would you do if you trapped in space? That's just me. I like to communicate. then there's also kind of the aspect of like a helpmate. At least right now, this is me right now. Like a helpmate, somebody, because like me right now, kind of like in an unconfident space because I don't really know myself 100%. So it's in a way of like, if you know I'm not really good at this or something like that in that nature, then and you are, it's like instead of, why aren't you good at this? Why aren't you doing that? Expecting me to already know that, but like, hey, I see you're struggling with this. Let's, set up something so you can be able to, learn it better. And now, if I keep making a mistake and now like I'm not trying, then obviously you can go on your way and get on to me about it, but in a way of actually like let me help you put your hands in this while my hands are in it so I can show you how to do it and you get on your roll. So like to help me, somebody that's like adventurous. So I'm just an open book. I don't really like one specific thing. I like video games, I like anime, I like going on hikes, I like the stars, I like nature, I like painting, creative, like I like everything basically. I like to try to do everything. So any somebody that wants to be adventurous, to do stuff. Honest, and really, there's really it. Just somebody likes the vibe, like that's like that can go with the flow. I don't know, because it's like not all days it's gonna be sunshines and rainbows, but it's somebody that I can talk with, probably lift up the spirits, or somebody I can just chill with, mellow out, and just that. And qualities that I feel like I have to give, I would say honesty. That's uh kind of a place I've been struggling at, sadly. Um, being my authentic self, because there being times where it's like I feel like I'm being my authentic self, but I'm really kind of conforming to my situation and my environment, projecting what I feel like you want me to project. So it's like I'm not having a backbone, I'm not saying what I want to say, I'm not doing what I like to do, I'm doing what caters to you and what makes the mood feel better rather than, what I like. Um, and really more of a masculine energy of being able to get things done, I would say, of, planning things, doing my research on things, being ahead, like kind of forward thinking, I would say, is real good qualities that I feel like I need to bring.
Cool, thank you very much. I mean, you sound to me like a very creative soul, and the things that you like and the attributes you're looking for look like somebody else that's creative. Because sometimes as well, what I've learned in my lifetime is that, we think I've had this thought coming up a lot lately that I used to be arrogant enough to think everybody thinks the way that I do. And it's only as I've got older that I've really realized how different people think as a result of their own chemistry, but also the socialization and the upbringing and the blah, blah, blah. So, you'd be amazed at how many people that's not stuff that they like to do.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They don't want to go for walks. They don't want to look at the stars. Some people are happy to sit inside and play chess or, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say one more is like really somebody that's like open-minded, I would say. Because it's like, you cannot like something I do. Like, I watch anime and stuff like that, how Adriana said. Like, kind of how Adriana said, like, if somebody's good on anime, she don't watch it, school her on it. Teach her about it. Be open about it. Don't be like the person that's like, ugh, you watch anime? Weird. Like, I love being called weird. Don't get me
Weird.
wrong. You call me weird, and I'm like, thank you. Like, I'm one of a kind. So, like, it's not gonna hurt me, but it's like when you feel that it's used in a way that's like, they're weird. Like, you can just feel it. Like, you're trying to be ugh about it. It's like, well, damn, now it makes me not want to watch this. Now it makes me not want to do that, even though I like to do that. That's like somebody that's more of encouraging in differences, like willing to learn. And if you don't like it, it's not for you. Don't judge me about it. Don't try to put me down because I like that. You know what I'm saying? Now you can joke about it and be like, you're a little weed, you a little geek. Like you can joke with me about it, but don't really try to, aim at me and take a piece off of me because of it.
It also seems like to be so young, you're super philosophical. You're a critical thinker. Uh, And I think that's something that you were describing and looking for in a partner as well. And I think that's super key and important actually to go along with the open mindedness. Like some like so a question as simple as what would you do if you went to space could go in like 20 different directions. You know what I mean? But that's interesting conversation. You don't want to talk about who was fighting on Shade Room. So I think
Mm-hmm.
that's key
Man.
to be so young, bro, to have that mindset and be so young. I think you need to give yourself more credit for how far you have evolved. You know what I mean? And you have so much further to go. You haven't even fully developed yet mentally. You don't until you're 25. So to be here at this point at 23, I think you said you were.
Yeah.
Yeah, be very proud of that. And also I think that's a major key in general in any relationship. Please be a critical thinker. Be open to the conversations that may seem weird, but can take you to places that really make you think and open your mind up to different things. I think that's dope. That's really cool.
I like that you
Appreciate
said that, Adriana. And you know something else that I want to ask, because it was a part of what Gabe was saying. He brought up wanting to be, what's it like, something along the lines of being assertive.
Being more masculine, where it's like I'm planning more. Oh, wait, was it forward thinking? I think I'm. Wait, did I say it? Was that kind of what you were trying to say? Like,
It was along the lines of that, and I'm thinking like we got women on here with us. What is something that y'all could give us to take and go out when we're building relationships to add to? Because we don't want to go at it and think like it was a part about pleasing. So that's what made me think about assertive, right? When are times that we're in relationships and it starts to get to a place where y'all are women, rather, not just y'all per se, because I don't know if y'all do this in relationships. You start to get demanding. Is it expected for us to try to meet those demands, or do y'all want us to push back and be like, you know what, now I'm putting my foot down on this? You know what I mean?
Yes.
I'd like to hear what y'all would say about that.
That is such a good question, Emmanuel. Emmanuel, we could be here all day with this, but that is a brilliant question. Go on, Cynthonia, and I add my bit in a minute.
You know, well, listen, I could because there's levels to this. There's levels to this.
Yeah.
You you got to know when you have to have boundaries to anything, right? There's boundaries to anything. So like you have to know when you're being taken advantage of, when is does the person deserve it at that point? What are they asking for? You know what I'm saying? Like, have they ever given you anything? Because there's a difference between being a provider and then being a simp, being somebody who is a vic, somebody who is just being used. Because once you just give with no boundaries, no nothing, you're now the giver. I can go over here and get something else I need from over here. I can get maybe affection, or I could get attention from over here. I already got you. You're the giver. You're gonna give me what I want. You good. But there's no boundaries here. I could just get what I want. But if you're saying like, all right, you want your hair done, we're in a relationship, not a problem, whatever. We beef, everything's good. We're not whatever, like that's not a problem. Next week you want your hair done and you want this purse. This purse costs 1,200. All right, like what are we doing here? What are you bringing to the table? Why are you getting a $1,200 purse? Now we're adding on more stuff. You could tell when somebody is starting to take advantage of when they see you as a Vic. You could clearly tell whenever they see
Oh
you, they
yeah.
ask for something. Every time they ask you for something, or you got this, you gave them this now, so now the things they're asking for are getting more and more elaborate. No, they're looking at you a certain type of way. That's my take on it, because even though even though I'm in a relationship, like even though I be in a relationship with women, it's the same thing. It's just it's Because the same way, like men do it, men could do it to females too, but women just have a it's just a notoriety that women do it. Men do it too.
Yeah, I can imagine that to be
Everybody do it.
so.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
people are gonna do what you allow them to do to you, but the respect gets lost when somebody sees that there's no boundaries. There's always a lack of respect for somebody who doesn't have boundaries. Period. That's in my world, my universe.
And once the respect is gone, is there any coming back from that?
Nope.
Oh, I see now. Yes, yes, depending on the person. See, in my world, in my universe, me as an individual, in my world, yeah, you could, because once you as an individual change your paradigm, and you change who you are in that regards, you're a different person. So you're moving differently. You're not the same person that I was able to take advantage of before. However, it may have changed. Now, I stuck around long enough for you to go through that change. Now you're a different person in that regard. You're not allowing me to take those. You might even actually get a little bit more respect from me, that you actually made that change. You peeped the weakness. You made the change, and then you came back stronger, and you standing on it. You might get a little bit more respect from me. But that's in my universe.
I think for me, you know, it's always one thing that's really clear with us is the societal differences, but also you can't generalize. That's what I've really learned about meeting regularly and communing with you guys in the States, is that it's such a big, there's so much diversity within the States, and then you over here there's things are just different, and then it's about who you are in your family and all that. So I think it's like I'm thinking about what Emmanuel said, you know, for women. And I just think, just like I said before, I can't speak for the UK. I don't think I can speak for women. I can only speak for myself. And because like what Cynthonia just said there, if I lose respect for you, it's never going to come back. It's never going to come back. Because it takes a lot for me to lose respect. You know, you got to push and push and push and push and push for that respect from me to go. So if I lose respect, it's not coming back. Not respect, not like or love. Respect you can't regain with me. And I think that for me it's just about, I struggle with all these kind of generalizations around relationships, and like I said, it's the evolved version of me that I am now. It's just very simple, and it's just about respect and a give and take, in the same way that I do with my friendships. There's no stickiness or difficulty. Like, it's communication. So I have a high expectation that whoever I'm going to be with in the future is going to communicate with me. So if I'm doing something and they're like, nah, Caroline, that's out of order, that's a step too far, or you're messing with my boundaries, I want to hear that, you know. And then I know where I move, and that I do the same. Because I think in past relationships, there's been a lot of not saying anything. And then there's that kind of role playing as well. Role playing what a masculine is and role playing what a feminine is. But I am my version of femininity. And my version of femininity isn't everybody's version of femininity. You know, I'm somebody that, you know, I can be quite boisterous. I like to do wushu. I like to do fight training. I like to, you know, do things that are boisterous activities, but I also like to do very feminine things like sit and sew and cook and give somebody a massage and wash hair and plait hair, you know. So my version of femininity, there's other women that can't do them things, but they wear bodycon dresses and high heels and they're fully done up, and that's a version of femininity, you know. So I think my answer to your question, Emmanuel, is just be honest. It is a man has to, as they say, stand on business for me. I can't, if you're flip-floppy as a man, that's it. It's not, you're feminine. Yeah. A man needs to know what he's thinking and have firm ideas. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to ask you something one day and tomorrow you say something else. And if you've changed your opinion, you got to be able to back it with good reasoning, you know.
I love that. I love that. Thank you.
You're
Yeah, I do
welcome.
too. I really do like that. I like that part. I feel like in a sense that might be where a part I feel like I'm struggling at is like sticking with an option, being decisive, which is, you know, it's a heavy masculine trait to be very decisive. And I feel like in some instances I'm not because you know when I said I don't really know myself, I'm really kind of slightly incompetent about myself. So I feel like that's where the decisiveness, the indecision comes in. And it's like sometimes it makes me feel like I'm not masculine enough to, you know, choose this decision and stand on it and like know that's what I want. So I like that you said that.
I had a conversation with someone the other day where we established that, you know, we were saying, and she's a lot like me, this individual, we like men to lead, but that's how you can end up being controlled, is when it's toxic, because you try and let them lead and then they see that they can manipulate that and then take that into a controlling position, you know. But I think intuitively women love to be led by a man, you know. And I have that experience like with my brother. If we're going out, I don't do anything. We're going here, he pays, he, you know, we're meeting at this time, Kaz, we're going to this restaurant. If I do that, I do that whole pretend thing that I'm gonna pay, but it's pretend. I'm like, ooh, I get my card out. And I expect him to go, no, put that away. And I said to my daughters, if you're with a real masculine man, he's gonna throw that card down or he's gonna throw that money down. Like men that are very masculine, that's my experience. They won't be all pissy about it. They're gonna be here and they kind of do that and sit back in the chair. That for me, I love all of that. I love, but then at the
Yeah.
same time, a woman has to reciprocate. It's not about money. It's about that position as a man of being authority.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Can
get
I?
what you're saying. It's not leading with your wallet, but it's having the confidence to know that I got it.
Oh, because like what exactly what you said, like how you are, how you, men are expected to protect and provide, and women are expected to nurture and right. So you expect this like the same way that it's easy for a woman to take advantage of a guy once they see that he provides or he'll give. Is the same way a man will take advantage if they see a woman is ready to play her position with and let a man lead if there are no boundaries in both instances, because that's what it like you could see. The thing is a lot of times women let their men lead in their relationship. They know that they hold ideas. They know that they know that they bounce the books, that they do 9 times 10, but they know the importance of letting their man, you know what I'm saying, like lead and, you know, do his thing. Now, if she just lets it be that and she knows that this guy is not, well, what I would say, just to say equally yoked or whatever, or is not, you know what I'm saying, for her or is not at that level. Now he sees that he has that position that he could play there. Now she's just letting him be a man, knowing that he's not up to par, he's not at that level, he's not ready, or he's not prepared for that. And she just lets him go. He's going to take advantage. He's going to become exactly that. And then, like, you know what I'm saying, abusive in the center third, take advantage. And then now she finds herself in a situation where now she has to fight out of that situation. Just like a man, if you provide and you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, but if a woman sees that you don't have no boundaries to it, then you're just gonna provide, you're just gonna do like that's just my opinion on it. That's just really my take on it. Like it's the same thing, and I think like you just validated my point that like like men do it in their own regard. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, my last comment on this is that I just think you can't. My biggest lesson in life with relationships is it's what is, as Oprah said. I think Oprah's saying is you know, once someone shows you themselves, that's who they are. It's like don't create, and women are brilliant at this, by the way, men to know, Gabriel and Emmanuel, creating these fantasies that are not true about a man. so they can meet a man and create a whole world in their mind of what this is going to be. And that man ain't even close to that, nowhere near it. But the woman's thinking, and I know I've been guilty of that, of trying to give someone space to be this thing that they just clearly are not that thing. That's my bad, because they're not going to be, they're not it. They're not it. They're not making no moves to be it. So why am I sitting here having more belief in somebody than they're having themselves?
So can I ask you a question, Caroline? This is specifically, like, I'm asking you based off, like, the conversation you had with your daughter with the guy, like, slamming it down, and then what you just said here. Like, if is it more so the confidence thing? Like, if a guy doesn't have like the money, or like, say you guys go to dinner or whatever, and you take out your card and you offer to pay, and he doesn't say anything, he just allows you to pay or whatever, like, because you offered it. It's not that he was given no issue or whatever, but you offered it. But he is actually like financially strapped. He's not, you know what I'm saying, doesn't have it over. But you guys didn't get to this conversation yet. But you pulled out your card, and he doesn't really, you know what I'm saying? Like, he would have been willing to go half or pay, but you pulled it out. Like to you, is that like an ex? Do you talk about it afterwards? Do you find out why, or is it like, oh, he let me pay, like, your ex?
I'm not one of these high maintenance women that's had all of that. So in truth, I get that treatment off my family. I can't say I've ever had it necessarily. I've never had it in a relationship. And I think that's because when I was younger as well, you make allowances when you're younger. You're both trying to make it, and we're both trying to get there. So, it's not a problem to go halves and all that kind of stuff. But at 46, the sexiest thing you can do for me, is pay for things.
Nothing wrong with that.
I don't want no profile at 46. Absolutely.
I want to experience it now. I'm over this now.
Door for me, pay for shit, take me on holidays, surprise me with gifts. That's where we're at 46.
I hear you. That is your preference. I just want to know, because you're entitled to, you know what I'm saying? I just wanted to know, like, you know what I'm saying?
If you're 46 and you don't know this stuff as a man, you can't come around me, because I'm just a joke. You know what I'm saying?
But if I'm like, right, like, if I'm, let me not say me, Lord, thank you, I'm good, I'm grateful. But like, say somebody, it doesn't have, like, say, like, they just paid their rent and they was already late on their rent or whatever, but they wanted, they like you, they don't want to pass you up, they don't want to, you know what I'm saying, but they don't have the let me send you on the trip money and all of that.
Yeah.
They working, you know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? They just not where you want them slapping down money, doing all of that. They want to be that guy, but they don't have the means right now. But you don't know that because
not me now with 2 teenage daughters.
I feel you.
Like, I'm a big hardback woman. You know what I mean? I need big hardback woman treatment. I don't want no picky behavior. That's what my daughters are supposed to deal with. Is we can't pay his rent and that. At 17 and 18, but I'm way beyond that. I've been there, done all that stuff, been the kind-hearted, empathetic, and in truth, I don't think it works either. Like, if you go lower your standards and I don't care, they lose respect for you as well, and it becomes this whole thing that I don't have to give her this stuff. You'll be amazed what people will give people that demand it. I've had some female friends around me, and in truth, I just think your behavior's horrible. But they get what they want, though, because they're just like, you can't come around me unless you do that. Whereas there's sweet little old me that will, like, oh, I'll go halves with you. Oh, you know what? I'll buy you
bad boy card. Oh, you switch. You switch. You say, you know what? Being good don't work no more. Flip the switch. I think, but I also feel like, honestly, like, I asked because, like, a part of me, like, had that type of mentality, not with like money and stuff, but like a workout body, like, you know what I'm saying, like those type of like attributes. But now where I'm at, I feel like, man, that's not as kind of, is it fair to somebody like, but not, I'm not, how you take is how you take, and you're entitled to how you feel. But like, there was a point where I was like, paycheck to paycheck, and I was like, you know what I'm saying, wanting to be in a situation, but I didn't allow myself to even enter into the situation because I know I didn't have the means to move the way I wanted to. I could have missed out on a love that I probably freaking find again because I was afraid to move in that because of I understand that women think just like that.
I think you're a woman though, so it's
Yeah,
different.
but I date women, so
I know, but you're still a woman though.
Man.
You're still, and I think I'm just gonna say this is that it's just about if it's for me, it's about roles, and for me, my job is not to provide financially, even though I've done it. Even though I've been the person making more money in the relationship and paying for more of the stuff. And that's where I've realized like a man, especially if there's children, has more freedom to go out there and make that money. Because you're not at home looking after the children, cooking the dinner, plaiting the hair, da 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 da. A lot of the time with women, they're doing all of it. They're the housewife, they're the cook, the cleaner, the maid, and the breadwinner. So to me, like as a man, you got that freedom to just go out there and make that money. If I before I had children could work 2 jobs or 3 jobs, I have no empathy for men that go on about they can't make money because I'm like, as a female, I've done it. Go and make that. If you have to clean and what, just go and make that money and shut your mouth.
I hear your point on that actually.
So
Yeah.
Can I say? Oh, wait,
effort.
Adrian, you
I
gonna say
think
something?
effort is what you get at. Put forth effort.
All right, can I say something? I just got a question on that part because you said usually, I mean, obviously, usually the woman is the one to take care of the child. What if the roles is kind of reversed? Like, say, my woman's in the military, so she's getting more of the money and stuff right now, and it's like I'm in a situation where it's like I'm not getting as much as I want to be. So obviously, I want to be the head, I want to lead, I want to provide, not in that sense. But it's like I'm not doing as much as I know I can, or like feel like I should be doing, whereas she sees that I should be doing. So where in that aspect, like I don't really know how to. I don't really know what I was gonna ask, but like, what is that dynamic to you as the woman being like the lead and all that stuff? Where can a man still lead in that sense of not having the breadwinner right now, like not having the money right now, not having the power to speak?
It's
She
tough.
obviously like the BAH and like the money and stuff. She has the place. It's all under her. It's a child. She's like paying for most of the stuff. And I got like the little change right here. I could probably throw up some. I could probably pay for a little food here. But like, how can as a man that be? Well, I mean, I can't really ask as a man, but like, how can is that something to be dealt with, like from a woman perspective? Because I know sometimes like that makes a man like less masculine, not providing, not being able to lead, and not have that feeling like I can't really do that because I'm not making the most. I can't really say too much because I'm not making the most, even though it's not supposed to be like that. It's supposed to be more than just money, but that's still a huge aspect.
That's a problem.
In my opinion, finances shouldn't be the determining factor whether you're completely masculine or not. Where I don't have, you have, and we both can have a conversation about it. I'm okay. I'm not necessarily looking for you to pick up everything or do this or that. We can both do and be both, but let's have that balance of the two.
Can I just say, 'cause I know you want to go, Sister but yo, there is way more. Yo, first of all, you made a very good point because it starts right there too when we're talking about relationships, the type of woman or type of man that you have, because you could either, like she said, you have a shark, you know what I'm saying, you have a bear, you know what I'm saying. So if you have the right woman, if you have the appropriate match for you, if you authentic yourself, if you drew that person that's for you, it's more than, and you probably did. It's more than money. So if you don't have the money aspect, right, you have so many other things that, you know what I'm saying, are about you. You know what I'm saying? You're adventurous spirit, you're good in art, you're good at this. There are other things that you could bring to the table that you can teach because the respect thing, women want to be taken care of. We want, you know what I'm saying, all of that stuff, whether in whatever type of relationship. but more importantly, we want to grow. We want to feel like somebody that can, like, the same thing you want. You want somebody to teach you and help you to develop in areas where you're weak. So does your partner. And then if you don't have the money aspect, then come full head on, come 10 times stronger in another department or two.
Exactly.
This is not even really seen or felt so much because yo, he's doing so much right. I don't even fuck right here. So you know what I'm saying? There's it's about balance too. You don't have it here. You have other things. Find your niche. Find what you have. Find what you could bring and elevate. What does she talk to you about that? You know what I'm saying? That what are her dreams? What are her goals? What could you research and learn about that you could bring to the table and show and help her move up and elevate on that? There's so many other things besides money. You're already in a relationship. The hardest part is getting the girl when you don't got the money. You already got her. Now, you know what I'm saying? Now all you got to do is, you know what I'm saying, like take your time and find who you are and, you know what I'm saying, listen to her so that you could provide and bring to it. Provide in more ways than one, brother man.
Yeah, because you can't generalize. You know, you really can't. And it's crazy when you really get to the bottom of it and you go, we're all individuals crafted by the Most High with unique energetic signatures and all this. And then think you can go that this is like this and that is like that, you know. But I think I would say, as a man should never start to lower himself. That masculine energy has to be there no matter what the circumstance, because that's where things like the term simp comes from. Women don't like that. Women don't like men. Women that are feminine and heterosexual, from my experience, the women that I know don't like when a man starts to make himself small, because that is the opposite to masculine as far as I'm concerned. No matter what is going on, you should still walk like a man and talk like a man and be a man and know you're a man. You know what I mean? Otherwise, you become something that women can't really tolerate, in truth. It becomes intolerable. But I think, you know, you being at home and doing what you're doing is big. And a lot of women would appreciate and love that. You know, I think one of the sexiest things a man can do is look after their own child. You know, a man nurturing and changing the nappy and getting up in the night and all those things is really beautiful. And I think a lot of women love that, you know, but generations and socialization and all that, I don't know. But yeah, just that's all I'd say to you, Gabriel. Don't lower yourself no matter what is going on. And as Cynthonia said, you got other things you can bring to the table. Don't look at what you're doing as less. Just make sure.
Go ahead,
No, I
Tony. Go ahead.
cut you up, but I did want to just say to what you said to your point that because even before the money, before all of that, like, yo, you, you're gonna see the security or insecurity. You know what I'm saying? You're either confident or you're not. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't have the money or whatever that you want to have, if you have the confidence you're going to get the money, that's going to show more than you not even having the money. But if you, because then that's going to start seeping into other things that, you know what I'm saying, that lack of confidence and then that insecurity because she's making more than that, because then other things are going to start falling apart slowly. You're not even going to see when it starts happening because of those insecurities. So those are the, like she said, that you be secure in who you are. Once you're secure, you're gonna find other revenues. You're gonna know, like, even there's people who get women that are so bad and they be so, I'll be like, what? It's pure confidence, and I'll be like, that makes no sense. But you know what I'm saying? Like, but it's true. So Sister Caroline had a point. Like, stay confident, stay true in your masculinity first, you know what I'm saying? And have that confidence to know that you have more to give.
Also, to Caroline's point, what you're doing is also very much so masculine because in order to be nurturing, to be a father, to be someone who can stand on his own too and understand that this is what I need to do right now for my family, for the betterment of us all. That's also very much so masculine. That's understanding the true meaning of being both masculine and feminine, which we all are. You have to embrace both at some point. I think that's where us as women sometimes get lost, especially Black women, because we've had to be both. We've had to be more masculine. We've had to lead the households and do all of the things. So some of us get lost in that. And then there are others who also experience that, who just want to be pampered and taken care of and do nothing. Both of both archetypes are missing that, you know, that understanding that you need both types of energy. You need to be creative and introspective, and you also need to be analytical and logical. Once you find that balance is when you've won. So so please understand that what you're doing is not necessarily weak in any capacity. And I agree with Caroline. A nurturing man is so damn sexy. Are you kidding me? That shows me that you have heart. That shows me that you have an understanding. That shows me that you are going to be more open and a little bit softer when I need you to be, instead of barking at me when I'm trying to have a conversation. Because a lot of men lack that. That's also very much something that's a shortcoming these days. So yeah, man, you again, I said it before, I say it again, you're a lot further ahead than you think you are. But you just have to see it for yourself.
Reminds me of when Aunt McQueen was on, and he talked about how, as his children are growing, there are times when his wife Sandy would be the breadwinner, right? And he would be at home getting them ready for school, doing whatever. But then times change, and he's the one, bringing in the bread. But what they're saying is the recurrent thing of confidence, right? Through it all, Aunt McQueen remained Aunt McQueen. So that's what I would say, Gabe. Through it all, just remain who you are, steadfast in knowing that it's like this now. But are you a part of the book club that we're reading on Think and Grow Rich, Gabe?
Yeah, I am. I haven't been
Okay.
consistent on being in there. I actually have the book in person. I got it before
That's the
they even
part.
decided to do it. But
So
yeah,
reading that book, I think, could help with it too. To just get that burning desire for that, bring that idea to fruition, that thought, because it's a key. It's a key. I read that book when I was in a similar space to what you're talking about right now, and I just wasn't really applying. So application for sure. Confidence. You're twice defeated in any race if you start thinking like, yo, I don't know about this, but that's what I'm gonna share on that. Just be confident and really, lean in on being supportive. Like one of the questions that was asked in the promo is, how do I support my partner while still working on myself? So
myself.
that's
Mhm.
key.
Much appreciated.
And I
You
just
all.
to reinforce what Emmanuel said, because I was thinking of Aunt McQueen as well. But what my thought was, I forgot that he had that situation with his wife. But what was going through my head was the example of his dad, because he talked about his dad having to do that. So that was role modeled to him, and therefore it was a natural thing for him to do. And it sounded to me like he didn't question it or see it as not masculine or anything because his dad did it. So I think, again, it's about perception and what's been put onto us and what, because I do think from an outside perspective that America is very money driven. And it's less so here from my experience. There'd be people that argue that and will go, what you're talking about. But in the world that I live in, money's not that big a deal. But I think there's so much when it gets reduced just down to money, it doesn't mean anything. It's a whole holistic thing of what are you contributing to your family.
Oh, okay.
You got a lot, Gabriel. You've been told over and over again by us. You've got a lot. You've got the foundations for what's on Emmanuel's t-shirt. You got the foundations for greatness. You're great already, but you definitely, if you carry on the way you are, with the openness and the questioning and the philosophical mind, as Adriana said, all of these qualities So you gotta like Emmanuel said, you gotta always walk with that. Always walk with that, you know. Don't bend and don't let depression get you. Don't let whatever get you, because you got it.
Mm-hmm. For real, because I didn't sound like you until I was about 30. Like, as you know what I'm saying, as like self-conscious, aware, and you know what I'm saying, like understanding of what I wanted, who I wanted to be, not understanding where I was. I didn't sound like that until I was about 30, to be honest. So, damn, you know what I'm saying? You good. You know what I'm saying? There's people I feel like I wish I wish that they would have waited to have a kid. You know what I'm saying? Like some people, children, grow them, develop them. Hold on, I'm sorry about that. Well, I have to keep my camera up real quick. But there's some people who, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, it's good that you had a kid. It's not a bad thing that you had a kid. You know what I'm saying? You're developed. It's only gonna help you. You know what I'm saying? So you, I ain't gonna sit here and blow your head up any big. It's looking kind of big already. You understand?
And that first year of a baby is like nothing else. So it's not gonna feel stable or anything in that first year of having a baby. I think even people who've got everything in place, money, house, whatever, it turns your world upside down, you know. It's a big adjustment. All right. So Cynthonia, you haven't answered this. What attributes and qualities are essential for you and a partner and for you to give?
And I actually forgot about that question. Basically, honesty. Everybody wants honesty, right? But I want honesty even when it's hard. You know what I'm saying? I want you to be able to tell me the things that you think I would leave you for. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause those are the things that you not telling me, or us not discussing those things, are the things that build up the distrust and the insecurities within me. So, like, you know what I'm saying? Just tell me the truth. You know what I'm saying? Like, just tell me the truth. Tell me what's real. Tell me how you feeling. Tell me if I'm doing something wrong. Tell me if you don't agree with something. Tell me, you know what I'm saying? Just keep it real. Keep it 100. Keep it 100. Um, Accountability is a big one for me because I'm a person that takes accountability often. You know what I'm saying? Like, not that I find joy in taking accountability, but every time I take accountability for something, I have something to ponder on, to think about, like where's the weakness, or where can I develop, or it's a way for me to dissect that piece of me or that area. So I want somebody to be accountable because it's very annoying and frustrating, you know, when you could be accountable in a situation and then a situation arises and you look for that person to be accountable because you're always accountable. And for that person not to be accountable is very, very, that gets under my skin. That grinds my gears. So that I do have some superficial ones, you know, I'm not gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? Like I would like, you know, a healthy attribute because I have times I'm saying I should say more so selfish. This is a selfish attribute that I look for. I would like somebody that's like healthy, health conscious, you know what I'm saying, into themselves as far as like looking and feeling and being good spiritually. Because there are times when I fall off the wagon and I would like somebody to be there to, you know what I'm saying, keep me motivated or for me not to be off track for so long, you know what I'm saying, or longer than necessary. So that and somebody that listens. And I don't mean like just listening to the words coming out of my mouth, but like listens and is willing to make changes, or you know what I'm saying, to show that they listen in the situation because I'm gonna listen, and if it makes you uncomfortable something and it's not like you're not being controlling or manipulative and it's something healthy or something for us to grow or whatever, I'm definitely gonna like work towards that, and I want the same thing. And basically, I'm looking to give everything that I'm looking for. I'm working on within myself to give to that person. You know what I'm saying? And of course, I also want to be able to provide and to nurture and to help develop and build someone. And I look for those things too. That's it. I mean, there's a whole long list, but that is like the foundation.
Yeah, I like that because I think that's really where I'm at as well. I think for me, I'm thinking about it. What attributes, what qualities, and you said it with the truth and accountability. I think anytime it's gone wrong for me in relationships, I really personally betrayal for me. I'm like one of these like old school film, you know what I mean? Like you are a villain if you betray me. Thou dost not betray Kaz. Like I don't play with that stuff, man. It like that whole kind of thing of like super saiyan, as I say. And something happens in my system, and I do feel like now I know myself better. It's cosmic when somebody's blatantly lying to me because I know intuitively, I can feel it, especially in a partnership, you know, and women all over the world will talk about saying, I knew he was cheating. And I asked him for a year and he kept denying it. He kept denying it. And then he eventually, but it's that gaslighting and that sending you mad. And for me, that's one of those things where the respect just goes because you're a coward. Why are you standing there lying like an idiot, as we would say, fussy? You're a fussy-hole. You're a fussy-hole, you get me? You shouldn't be standing there lying like that. So,
I haven't heard that word in a long time.
I'm from Birmingham, man. We use these old school terms, these old school Jamaican terms. But yeah, like I just don't respect that. I don't like cowardly behaviour. And I think if you're constantly lying, that to me says you're a coward. Because you got to be able to do the thing. I was raised, my mom's hardcore, but I was raised. If you're gonna do the thing, you better be able to stand in it. You know what I mean? Do what you like, but you need to be able to stand in it. So if I can do that as a female, as my partner as a man, you better be able to do that. You know, I will respect you. I may not like what you're saying. If you've done something and you tell me the truth, but you know, if you've done something and then you stand there lying like a little 10-year-old, like you gotta go, mate. Like
Thing is, I'm gonna know you lying. I know you lying. I know it. I know it. You could swear. You could listen. Listen.
yep.
I knew it before you did it. Listen. I know. Like, come on. The thing that is gonna grind my gears is if you want to sit there and look at my. Because now you make me. You trying. So now you think I'm slow. Now you think I'm stupid. Now you're trying to play me like I'm a sucker. Like so. Now I feel like you don't have no respect for me. So how can I have respect for you? Because now I feel like you don't have respect for me because you're sitting there lying to my face like I'm a retard. Why?
Something that just talking about the cheating part that you brought up, Caroline. That's something
Yeah.
that men take harder than women, believe it or not. So you said something like you can respect it, right? If they're just upfront and honest about it. For men, or at least for me, I can't speak for all men. I think that's where it's like it's no coming back from almost like you cheated. I guess because I don't want to share anything with anybody. So
Yeah.
I just want to verify I'm leaving if you cheat too, but I'm talking about lying. You know what I'm saying? If you know what I'm saying? Like you could do something like, oh, you met up with somebody or whatever, or you could do something that you just know that you would not like for me to do. You know what I'm saying? Like it would make you feel so uncomfortable if I did it. To me, like that's a violation, right? So if you lying about something like that, like be real with me. You know what I'm saying? But absolutely, I think cheating is definitely redrawing the line right there. I am monogamy, not polygamy, not anogamy, not octogamy, just one anime.
I wanted to say, so I don't, this may just be me because I'm also very much so super health conscious, but I don't think it's selfish to want that, because I think that's also something that's lost. And you don't necessarily have to be heavy set to be unhealthy. You could be a rail and be unhealthy too. I think that's key, truthfully, for us as a community to get into that mindset. And yeah, we're gonna have our imperfect days, and I absolutely agree with you. You need somebody to, like, think you might have had too many chips. You know what I'm saying? You think you might have, you know what I mean? Think you might have had enough to drink. You know what I mean? But just to do those things in such a way that is kind and understanding, and my intent, as opposed to, say, a friend who may just, you know, rub you the wrong way, or a stranger, whoever. I think everything that you said was more than understandable, and I don't think any of that was superficial. I mean, sure, everybody has a type, I guess you could say, as far as physical attributes are concerned. But again, once you get to know a person, you never know. But if you are, like, say in my case, like, I had issues with that, believe it or not. When I was heavier, I didn't want to be with a heavier person. Um, but now that I've gone through that journey or whatever, say I meet somebody who's just like me and has lost a significant amount of weight and is working on the tone up, I'm not going to judge that person. I'm going to listen to you and understand your perspective. So I think it's all about wellness in general. I think wellness should be on everybody's card. And I don't think that's superficial. I think that's supremely important.
I agreed. And there's something, just to answer what Emmanuel said, I think there's something like so deep in our spirit and soul, for me anyway, because I know what I turn into, with the cheating thing for men and women. And it's good to hear a man's perspective, because, sometimes as women, I've had this conversation with other women. Like, do men know what they're doing when they're just going around doing that? Like, do you know that women are crazy? And that, there can be murder there as well. Like, it's not like women find out, oh, he cheated on me. We go, oh, no, my poor broken heart. Like, we start plotting and shit, sorry. Then stuff. Like, women can go be absolutely nuts if they find out that you've cheated, and they go hunting down the other woman, they smash up cars, they burn down houses. Like, that violation, there's something very unique about that lie and that sneaking around. It's almost, for me, it's all encompassing and almost inescapable, that level of betrayal.
Caroline, I got a question on that, because this is something that I feel in my spirit and I don't understand. Why do women do that? I personally don't do that, but why do women do that? Why is it that when something like that happens, right, and you go crazy and you find out your guy or your girl, whoever, is doing something, why do we go after the person they were with? And why not go for them? That makes no logical sense to me. Like, I understand that they violated, but at the end of the day, it's your dude or your woman who violated. You shouldn't really give a damn. Sorry. You shouldn't really care about that other person. Your focus, your singular focus, in my opinion, should be on the person that you're with, because that person knew what they were doing when they did it. Straight
Yes.
up. I don't understand. I've always thought that was supremely stupid. But go ahead. But I just had to get that out there. Like, I've never understood that. Like, if you cheat on me, it's a me and you problem. That other person, I could care less,
I'm
because at
never
the end of the day, you violated.
Yeah, I'm not going for no other woman. I wouldn't give her that power in the first place. You mad? Some women do it on purpose, and they do it because it's you. That's a fact. I've had it. I've been with my partner, and these women are doing all this stuff, and I'm like, there. Women go through that as well. So there are predatory women that will go for your man because he's your man. But the bottom line is, your man should be going, or your partner should be going, come on, look, you see her there.
That's
That's
my
what should
point.
be happening. So when he's sitting there going, wait till we get home. Wait till we get home. Deal with your backside. Because it is, I agree, Adriana, it's nonsensical. I wouldn't even give her the grace of, like, give her that power, even look upon her. Got nothing to do with that. But women, you know what women are like.
A
Yeah,
woman doing
that's
that
why I asked the
because
question. Why is that? That's so silly. That's extremely stupid. But go ahead. Go ahead.
you see that part that you just brought up, Caroline, about women going after a man that's already taken. Are they doing that because they see him as a provider and someone that, was what they call the eligible bachelor? Because it always happens without fail. Anytime I'm in a relationship, that's when they start jumping out the woodwork. And it's crazy to me.
Yeah, they do. They do. I think it's because it's partly competition with the other woman. I think sometimes if you've got a high caliber woman, they think if they can get with your man, they're on the same level as you. So sometimes it's that, but it's also, I think, what you're saying, that image of that image of you being a partner and what that shows gives them another perspective of you. But it's all that stuff is really low level, insecure. You got to dig. I don't know because I'm
I
not one of
think
them.
on some levels, though, right? On that level, if you have like, because I think that's 100% true. I think you have one side, you have like people who just it's just a competition of it. They want what a woman has to see if they are better than that woman or if they, you know what I'm saying? But the other side of it is vibration too. If you're in a relationship and you are doing certain things and that's a vibration, that's a wave or whatever. And the people who are on that wave or who are ready to be in are going to feel that same wave. And that's my hypothesis on that, because I feel like, yeah, you have people who intentionally try to go after people for whatever malice reasons, but when it comes out the woodwork and somebody you bump into, you don't know them from nowhere, and you know what I'm saying, now, like, or somebody that you saw like 6 months ago or whatever, like in the working at this building, and now you over here, whatever, you run back into this person and you didn't speak before, but now all of a sudden you like, I think it's a vibration, it's a wave thing or whatever that you actually meet on.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's what I was getting at. Because sometimes it's with people that you've never met a day in your life, but
mhm.
they
Yeah.
start coming on to you and you're like, where's this come from? They don't even know that you're in a relationship. But
Right.
when you're single, it's like you're invisible.
You're not doing nothing. You not, you know what I'm saying? Like you probably in that want stage or whatever, but that's a different frequency. The want frequency is a different frequency from being on the frequency, you know what I'm saying? So like yeah, you invisible. You're not on the same wavelength, you know what I'm saying? So it feels hurtful, it feels like damn, but that's all it is. Get your game up, get on the wavelength. But what I wanted to say to Adriana is and like exactly that. I think that because I think it's so stupid too, and I always say that. But I believe it's the fact that women be feeling like to the man you did me wrong, or and vice versa, whoever you did me wrong, but to the person you got my dude or my woman, like you had her, like it's just the competition. Like you had what was mine. You better than me. Like in what way? Like who do you think you are? The jealousy, the fact that like they wanted you when they already had me is like makes a person who's not in control of their emotions rageful and not able to, you know what I'm saying, control themselves, and they just act in rage. Because
Mhm.
what? Why the hell else? Sorry, but why else?
Yeah, that's what
Outside
I
of
was thinking of.
insecurity.
That's what I was thinking off of tone. It's like people who like go after the other person and they cheated really insecurity, really anger in the moment. So obviously, like as a man, you see that happen and it's like, oh, there's this nigga here. I'm not gonna hit my woman. Well, obviously I'm gonna be upset with him and like you want him to get out and stuff like that. But it's like in the moment, it's like, oh, I need to fuck something up. Like it's that rage. So it's like he's here.
Yeah,
Why not?
somebody got to get it. Right, right.
So like that's that initial thought, but then obviously it's not the best thinking in the moment to do. Obviously, there's ways to go about it. You can let them get away with it, but then it's that thought like if I just let him slide with nothing, it's like dang, now he got to my woman, even though it's her fault. Like, he got to her. Now let him, get away scot free. Nah, nah. Yeah.
That's
That's
real.
a machismo thing to see, and that go see it. That's a clear example of how that goes both ways. Like, why do you feel the need to defend your woman or your manhood based on the fact that your relationship is clearly broken? That makes no sense. Like, focus on the relationship that's broken. On in my opinion, as far as that's concerned, and to go back to what Emmanuel was saying about the attraction thing, I do think there's a difference of aura when you're in a relationship. Like, say if it's a stranger you've never met before, but for the people who know you're in a relationship and then try to go after you, I think it's a sense of insecurity with them. Like, damn, all of a sudden you have the wherewithal to establish yourself in a relationship. I want to see if I can break you. You know what I'm saying? I want to see if that's really real. And that's super unhealthy and unhinged as well. I think there's just a whole lot of healing that a lot of people need to do for real.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's. Go ahead, Emmanuel.
I've experienced that in as well. When I was much younger in high school, I was with a girl and her friends would actually come to me and I'm like, chill. But that sums it up. Yeah.
That's why it's such a. I just think when you're doing that cheating stuff, it's such a violation. It's just a no go thing. That's what for me when it's happened to me. I just can't believe it's like it's not the same thing, but I could liken it to house going through my knicker drawer, my underwear drawer, whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like you don't break in your friend's house and steal their stuff and throw all their and piss on their floor. So it's just to me, it's a crazy violation. You know what I mean? Like, and when your partner does that, definitely. Like I've tried to forgive twice. I absolutely don't forgive. I just pretended to forgive, but I never forgave nothing. I hated them underneath, and that's just the truth. You know what I mean? So for me, if you cheat on me, I'm not a cheat. If you cheat on me, then it's done. Now I know it's done. Now I know I can't forgive. I can't forgive that. I can pretend. I can try to be nice, but I just can't. So this is a subject I think that is rife on the internet, though, isn't it? This is all these toxic relationships and stuff. This is the bottom line of a lot of it is just betrayal.